Have you heard of Anchor? It's the podcast platform we use to bring you our episodes. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let us explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard across multiple platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And the best part is that it's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hi, I'm Amber.
I'm Melissa.
And you're listening to the AM Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to talk about BTS's Proof and Festa. But first we're going to start with our K-music picks of the week. So this week I chose TNX, We On. I just really love the chorus. Like the We On Fire part, the way that goes. I really love it. I also like the whole album, but that's another story for another time. So Melissa, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is Paul Kite, Nangman, which I think translates to romance. Well, I don't know. I don't know why I said thing, because I looked it up. That's what people said that it means. But anyways, yeah, I think this is a gorgeous song. This is I started listening to his. I don't think it's an album. I think it was like an EP. And anyways, his voice is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And this song, just such a gorgeous production. I love the way that like it kind of goes, I don't know, in and out during I think the chorus. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. But yeah, it's a really nice song. And yeah, that's my pick.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to BTS's Proof Comeback. We will not be talking about like the album itself, like the packaging, because we are still waiting on Weverse to send us our albums. Like it's on its way. It's on its way, but it's not here yet. So we can't give like a detailed, like full review on the entirety of the album like we normally would, but I guess we'll just talk about it in terms of like the songs that we do have access to and just that piece in general. So yeah, Melissa, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so like Amber said, we don't have the album, and I know that some of the demos are already uploaded to like YouTube and stuff, but I don't know, I really want to like experience it fully like on my CD player when I get it. But I did listen to a few of the demos that were online, and one of the songs that I was really excited to hear was Tony Montana, because I've always loved that song. So to hear a studio version of it was just amazing. Also, I think the Spring Day demo version was pretty, but it was a bit more, I feel like it's a bit more melancholy than like the one that we know about. And I like the version that I guess became the final version because it has more of an impact and it sounds a bit more hopeful. I don't know. I just I like the one that they came up with, but the one that the demo version is also, it has a different feel. And the other demo that I thought was interesting, RM's rap and V's like whoa part in Boys with Fun in the demo version is so funny. And it was so funny watching V listen to his part and RM's part on V Live, because he just looked like so embarrassed. And I was just watching him like, yeah, that was you, and that was him. Yeah, that's out there. He just looked so embarrassed. It was so hilarious. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say about the demos. So as for the new songs that were on the CDs, for Yet to Come, I liked that. It was sad. It was kind of sad. Like even listening to it, it kind of felt like they were like closing out something. But I also appreciated that it was also like hopeful. Like the part where they're saying, "No, my best is what comes next." I just like that it felt like, okay, so this isn't really the end. Like, I'm just only going up from here, and it gave us something more to look forward to. So although it was kind of sad, I did like that they kind of gave an opening for like, this isn't the end. Like, we're not really going anywhere. So that was nice. For Youth, it just gave me gospel vibes, like in general. Especially Jungkook's
Mhm.
ad libbing part. I was like, okay, so it's a gospel song, like low key. But that was also nice. But my favorite song was Rum BTS out of the three new songs. I liked some people. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm probably just assuming, but I don't know because people are always talking about how BTS has been using a lot of autotune lately. But
Mhm.
I don't mind it, and I really liked it in J Hope's part because it made it like more hype to me. Because the beat itself, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the beat itself is a little bit empty, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me it felt like it needed some more like elements to make it hype, because otherwise it's just like kind of a upbeat kind of dance kind of song. But I don't know. Anyways, I like the autotune on J Hope's part. I thought it made it more hype, and I also like. And this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time that they've done this, but I like how the vocal line kind of took turns doing the choruses. Um, and I don't know. I just feel like everyone had a good amount of, I don't know, time, not time, but you know how this vocal, I guess line distribution, I guess is what I was trying to say. And so I don't know. I like the song, and I really like how Sugar started it all. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say about that. That was my favorite out of the three. Well, Amber, what about you?
So for as far as the demos, I feel like I have the same sentiment as you. Like I kind of just want to hear it on the album. There, I did like skip. Like people have put up basically CD3 online for everyone to listen to, so I just kind of skimmed through those. But like, I also try not to listen to it fully because like, I want to experience getting the whole album and everything like
Right.
everyone else did. And I've been fully okay, saying that we haven't got our album yet, I also been just fully avoiding all unpackaging if possible. So I'm really trying to keep myself in the dark, which is really hard, especially if you're on like army side of TikTok because like it's everywhere. So
I just go real fast. I just go whoa. Next.
I think at one point I was like, wait, what's happening here? I was like, this is the new album, I can't. So I had to like scroll through it. So I've been like really trying to avoid it, but it's really hard. But I agree. But one part like you just can't get away from is people clowning V on his whoa part because
Yeah.
it's just so funny. And it's so funny that you mentioned that he was embarrassed by it. So I just can only imagine him seeing all these things that Army is doing with the part. Like I would be so I don't know. I would be so embarrassed. But I mean that's the kind of relationship that Army and BTS has anyways. We just like to clown each other. Like they like to clown us and we like to clown them. So it's fun. Um so as far as the new songs go, you were talking about Run BTS. I guess I'll just start there. I wanted to say that I do feel like the autotune for J Hope did add a certain little extra hypeness to it. At first, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is just like an upbeat song. It's not a hype song." But the more I listened to it, the more I liked it, and I see exactly what you're talking about in it. But I also feel like with the autotune thing, um, BTS doesn't overuse it like some artists do. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I feel like they use it in like very key points in the song that makes it just like elevated. So
Mm.
yeah, I just wanted to throw that in. That's why I started with Run BTS. But I really like Run BTS now, and I think it's funny how everybody is out here on the social media shaking their butts to it, twerking it and calling it
Yeah.
the Run BTS challenge. Like,
I didn't know it was a challenge.
well, I mean, I don't think it's like an official challenge. It's not like a hashtag Run BTS challenge, but people are just saying like, "Oh, let me join this challenge right now," and so it's just so funny. It's just like it's BTS. It's just BTS just gonna be like scrolling and be like, oh, here they go again.
I hope they see them. because they're so funny. Army's
It's
so funny.
so funny. But that's just how I felt about Run BTS. I guess I'll just go backwards for my notes. So the next one I'm going to talk about is For Youth. I thought it was very sentimental, and it felt like a song for Army.
Mhm.
Which I mean makes sense. Like everything's for Army lately, so it's fine. But you know what? Knowing what we know now, it all makes sense to me. Why everything was the way it was. And I think it's really funny that people are saying that they're going to use For Youth as their wedding song, like their first dance song. And when I was like, am I missing something here? Like, because I was like, I don't think this is like a wedding kind of. I mean, it's a pretty song, but like I don't know if it's like wedding, like that's what you want, but I was like, whatever. To each its own. um, were you gonna say something?
I'm just wondering if it's because of that one part where Jungkook is like, "Oh, something, something. You're my best friend for life," or something like that.
Yeah, but what about the rest
But
of the words? Like, what about the rest of the song? Like, it doesn't give me like you're my future, you're my everything. Because doesn't he talk about like if he could go back or something back to when they were younger? I'm trying to remember the lyrics when I looked it up. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like a journey song. I guess that's where the sentiment comes from. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. It seems pretty sentimental to me.
For a wedding? Like I know, I get it. I mean the song is a sentimental song, but I'm just like for a wedding.
I mean, people have done songs like "I'll Make Love to You" for their wedding songs. I mean,
That's true. Well, let me just say this. I won't be using it for my
okay.
wedding. So yeah, that's how I felt about For You. So I'm gonna move on to the next song, which is Yet to Come. That was my favorite song out of all of them. When I first heard it, I felt like they were saying goodbye, but then I was also confused because they were saying the best moments yet to come. So it's like, are you saying goodbye or are you saying like what's happening? I'm confused. But knowing again, going back, knowing what we know now, it makes sense. Um, because I guess the best really is yet to come, and I'm not going to touch on that because we're going to talk about it later. So, but yeah, I felt like I was saying goodbye, but also felt like they were telling us to like hold tight. Like we're not really like we're going somewhere, but we're not going somewhere. So just like wait, be patient and wait for us. And so yeah, so I wasn't like fully sad when I felt like they were saying goodbye because it felt like they were also giving us hope. Um, like you had mentioned how the song was like hopeful. So it was like, okay, it's like they were saying, yeah, we'll see you later, but
Yeah.
we're not completely saying goodbye. So that's how I felt about the part of the album that we can talk about because we don't have it. But do you have anything else to say about the album review?
Um. Nope.
Okay. So along with the album coming out, they did put out the music video. So Melissa, what were your thoughts?
So my thoughts about the music video. So first of all, for the teaser, I thought Suge looked really good. He was standing on top of the piano and he had the beret on. It was just giving. And yeah, I think he's become like my new bias over the past year or one of them. I don't know. He's up there. He's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Jin and Suga and okay, and lately RM. I think when RM cut his hair off, that's when I was like, oh, RM. I don't know. Anyways, not the point. Not the point. This isn't about them. Um, but in general the music video was very emotional, and I don't know, well, I have something to say, but I'll just say this first. But it was very emotional and there were a ton of connections throughout the music video, but it was almost like it felt like this music video was like literally, I mean, and we just mentioned this, that it was for Army.
Mm-hmm.
This song was literally for Army. This is not the type of song where like if you don't know anything about BTS, you can't just watch this music video and get an idea of who they are as artists. This is just not that type of song. And
Mhm.
I say that because I like to watch I don't know. I like to watch music video reactions of people. Not, I don't really watch. I only watch like a few people on YouTube, but I guess because when I listen to a song and like I love a song for the first time, I like to see other people's reactions and other people freak out over watching this music video or listening to a
Mhm.
song. And I watched a couple people react to this music video who are not really BTS fans. Either they're new to BTS or they're just starting to get into BTS. And they were just kind of like, or they just don't listen to them at all. And they're just watching BTS videos for clout. And I watch them for like other types of like other genres.
Mhm.
Anyways, the point is like I was watching them and they're just like, yeah, this song is for teens. Or like, yeah, I don't really get the hype. Or, oh, they haven't put out anything good since Butter, really. And I'm just sitting here like getting upset.
Mhm.
And they were okay, people were definitely like flaming them in the comments because it's like if you don't it just made me think like if you don't know anything about BTS and if you haven't watched their past videos, you're not going to understand the importance and the significance of this music video. And so I was just getting like really upset because it's like, oh, you don't understand. This is an amazing music video. I was getting so upset. And then I would turn around and watch a reactor who has been with BTS since the beginning,
Mhm.
and he was like crying
Yes.
watching it because he
Mhm.
understands what the significance is of having all of these little clues of their history of their 9 years throughout the music video. And so anyways, I just want to say that this song may not be like their best song, whatever, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a song for Army, and it's supposed to be like, I don't know, yeah, basically a song for Army. I don't know what else to say, and a song about like I guess to comfort Army, and Army only is literally what the song felt like to
Yeah.
me in the music video. But so it was really emotional. I didn't cry or anything. I didn't cry. I think because not that I don't love BTS and their music, but I don't think I cried because I knew that they were gonna come back. I know they're gonna come back as a group eventually. That they're not disbanding. We're gonna talk about that later. Sorry, but like when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this does feel like the end, sort of, but not really because they're gonna be doing more stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and anyways, it was a really emotional music video and it was really nice. And that's all I'm gonna say. Amber, what about you?
First, I want to apologize if you guys hear like vacuuming in the background. Apparently now they're vacuuming again here. So if you hear noises, my complete and sincere apology. um, but I just have a lot to say. Just to comment off of what you were saying earlier, you were talking about how like Sugar's coming around, and then like you were also about RM. I just feel like eventually you and I are just gonna be like OT7. Period. That's it. Like I because everyone is just like growing on me. I'm just like,
Yes.
what is happening? I mean, I always loved them all. Don't get me wrong. Like, if someone talked about someone that may not have been my bias, I still would have been like, excuse you, ma'am, sir, person, no. But like now, I'm just like, hello, everyone. It's ridiculous. And did you want to say something? You were like about to say something.
Well, I was gonna add on to what you were gonna say, but I felt like we were gonna go off on a tangent. But I just want to say, I wonder if it's because, like, okay, like I've been watching more of Jin's D lives. I've been
Mhm.
like, and like, I don't know, and I've been just like noticing him more, like his personality and like their content outside of the performances and stuff. Because I think when I first got into BTS, I've always been drawn to like the performers more of the like the people like Jimin and JK who are like usually in the front for
Mhm.
things. And but like I don't know, just like learning more about Jin's personality, I'm just like, you're hot. Like
He has like a nonchalant hotness about him. Like he's just
yes.
like, yeah, I know I'm hot, but like he's really see that's the issue. He knows he's hot, but he also has a really nice personality, and that is trouble. That's trouble.
Yes. That's what it is.
Eh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna all of a sudden I just feel like I'm gonna have just like a bunch of group stuff everywhere. But there's nothing wrong with that, and that's good. You had mention something else and I can't remember what else it was. So I'm gonna just move forward. I No, I do remember you were talking about the reactors and how some of them were like Butter was their best song or whatever, and they didn't really. And I truly get. I mean, I feel like maybe if I wasn't like a true BTS fan and then I saw Yet to Come, I probably would feel the same way they did, especially if they came in around like the Butter time era, because like it was a different vibe than what they just put out, and it's definitely a different vibe than what they've put out prior to that. So I
Mm.
could definitely see why they would say that, but like at the same time, if you don't understand, just say you don't understand.
Exactly.
Call it a day. Don't even bother, because it truly was like this whole thing. Here's how I feel about this album. Hold on. because I felt like them putting out like all the songs that were prior and like the ones that they put on there that like is available, that yeah, whatever, like just the album itself,
Hmm.
except for like the newer songs, I feel like the older songs that are there was just kind of like proving to everyone like outside of Army and BTS, it was like proving like, look at all this stuff that we did and look where we've come because we did all of this stuff. So
Hmm.
here's the proof that we do deserve to be where we are. But then like I feel like the new songs were like, hey Army, thanks for having our back all this time.
Mm.
Thank you very much. And this is for you. So it's like that piece of the album was for us. And like it was, and then it was just like, Army and BTS, like, yeah, look what they did. Look at all this music they put out and look what they got.
Yeah.
That's just how I felt about this album. But for the Yet to Come music video, I will say I was super emotional. I was sitting, okay, hold on. I watched when it premiered. So like I was like laying in my bed, like literally like full body laid out and just like looking. And then like every time like a little piece from another video popped up, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe, oh my God. Oh, that's the and like by halfway through, I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy that Melissa and I went back in time and looked at all their videos because everything was super fresh in my mind. So I could like
Mm.
completely connect everything that was being shown. And I was like, oh guys, yeah, we did review that. So if you guys want to check that out, yeah, go check that out in some previous episodes. I was like, oh my God, it was so good. But like, I think I almost broke down in tears when I saw the yellow bus because I was like, oh, that's the beginning,
Yeah.
and they're getting back into what they came in on, and then they're going to be moving forward like, oh my God, it was like, oh, it was to your heart. And I feel like when you were talking about the guy that was reacting, I don't know who you watched, but he was reacting and he cried. I could understand because like you just felt it. And I feel like we've been Army for a couple years. Well, I feel like I've been on Army longer than you, but
I think
but
you
not
were.
too much longer. Hmm.
I think you were like maybe a couple of years before me.
Yeah, but not like it wasn't like nothing ridiculous like 5 years or anything. And so I feel like you and I have been with them through a lot. And even if like even when I first came in, I still didn't know a lot, but going back and looking at their stuff, you really feel this connection. So when you saw everything, it really felt like it was hitting home. Like you were there. Like some of the things I saw, I was like, I was there when that came out. Like I was there. Like I know what they were going through at that time. Like I know what was happening through all this. And it's just like to sit here and see where they've come to, like it's just ridiculous. And so yeah, I don't know, I feel like Yet to Come really embodied everything they've gone through and everything they plan on going to do. And yeah, it was really nice. And yeah, okay, I also wonder because they put out like little videos of like them in the desert when they were like I don't know if they were filming or if they were shooting picture. I can't remember what they were doing. No, it was shooting the video when they
Hmm.
put that out, because I was wondering, like, I know when you and I were, I know they did this in Vegas because I remember when you and I were out there and it was really windy that day. I was like, I know there, because when I first saw the video before they put all that out, I was like, I know that had to be dusty. I know they had sand in their eye because I had got something in my eye when we were outside and we weren't even around sand. It was like buildings. So I don't know. That was just something I wanted to throw in there. But that's all I had to say about the Yet to Come music video. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, like I saw that behind
Mhm,
the music video too, for Yet to Come. And they had to wear goggles
mm,
when they were in the desert. And they like had to cancel some of the shootings
mhm.
because it was just so dusty. And they did get sand in their eyes.
Oh,
Um I was just like, wow, that's rough. Cause we
yeah.
were struggling. He said we were struggling when over there by the buildings, and I can't even imagine being out there in the desert in the middle of a sandstorm with all that wind. So they're real troopers.
Yeah, and it's amazing how they got the shots they did for the music video.
I know they were lucky.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. Anything else?
Um, nope, that was it for me.
All right. So the last thing we're going to talk about that went with the BTS Proof comeback is their Proof live. So Melissa, what were your thoughts?
Um, so I thought that the backup singers were absolutely amazing. I don't know, something about BTS and black backup singers. They just, it's like two peas, it's like peas in a pod. I don't
Hmm.
know, like it just goes. And especially I think with the songs that they did for Youth and Yet to Come, those to me have like a lot of elements from like gospel and like R&B type styles anyways, so it just
Hmm.
went. And I thought it was cool how one of the backup singers is also the same girl who did the ad lib part in Ego at the
Hmm.
end. So I thought it was really cool that I think it's cool that they keep bringing in or maintaining the relationship with people that they've worked with in the past, because they did the same thing with the dancers from On. They had them perform with them in when they came to Las Vegas and maybe in LA. I don't know. We didn't go to the LA one, so I'm
No,
not
we
quite sure.
didn't.
But when we were fortunate enough to go to Las Vegas, then they were
Hmm.
also in the Las Vegas shows. So, anyways, I just thought that was really cool, and the backup singers were amazing. Um, also, I liked Yet to Come live. I tend to like their live versions of the songs a bit
Hmm.
better than the studio versions. I don't know. I guess it's just something about the live instruments just really bring the songs to life. But I really like the Yet to Come live version. I thought that sounded amazing. I was hoping for Run BTS live, as for a lot of people. We didn't get it, which is a little disappointing, but it's okay. One day maybe we'll see it live. I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was who had mentioned that like a choreo was in the works for that song.
Hmm.
I don't remember who it was. One of the members had said something about, oh, it's in the works or something like that. And so I don't know if they're like planning to do like a surprise. I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna be a clown right now. But I just
You're calling
hope,
yourself a clown.
because I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, like, Homie Palooza is coming up, and so I'm wondering if maybe there's gonna be a surprise something for Run BTS. I don't know. Maybe not.
Um, I mean, we're gonna talk about this later,
Oh,
but from the vibes from the dinner, it didn't seem like they were going to do it until like later.
okay,
I don't know because they were talking about how. I guess I could get into it now. And they were talking about how like they wanted to do like they knew that Army wanted to see Run BTS live, but they wanted to do it when they were all together in like
all
a
right,
good place or so. I can't remember if they said a good place, but like when they were like happier and really was
okay,
for it. And so I think we'll get that when they come back
okay,
together. That's what it seems like. But
okay. I remember
BTS be
that now.
clowning us, so we could get it at Hobie Palooza.
You're right. You're right. I forgot about that part that they did say that, when they're back together. Well, I hope they remember the choreo whenever that is.
I don't think they've learned it yet. It didn't sound like they learned it.
Oh,
It sounds like they were that I don't know if they were or somebody else was putting it together because yeah, like you said, it's in the works. But I don't think the way they made it sound like was like it's in the works, but we haven't learned it. But I
okay.
could be wrong.
Okay. Well, looking forward to whenever we get to see that live. And yeah, I can't. So, which song did Anderson pack back for them? Was it Yet to Come?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was Yes to Come. I couldn't remember. I just remembered his energy, and I couldn't remember which performance necessarily he had backed up or played the drums for them for. But he just has so much energy, and it was so much fun watching them interact. Um, he is just—I didn't realize he was so energetic. Sorry, his energy was just like really kind of caught me off guard. I've seen him perform a few times, and I've seen his energy on stage, but I didn't realize he was like that off stage too. So it was just really cool that he was able to do that with them. And yeah, what about you?
I agree. I thought him being, I don't know, he's a character and I love it. He's like one of those people where like you can't like you can't, how do I say this? Like you can't not like him. Like you know what I mean? Like you can't not like his, I mean you probably not like him, but I'm just saying like initially you just cannot not like his energy and just wanting to be around him. It just seems like he's a fun person. And I thought it was really cute that he was speaking in Korean every moment he got, and everybody was like, "Oh." And I feel like BTS likes when people at least try to speak in Korean to them. So I thought that was really cool. But as far as everything, I kind of had the same sentiment as you. I was also hoping for Run BTS too, but I don't know. Knowing what we know now, I see why we didn't get it. But I do feel like you were talking about live bands, how a lot of their songs are really good with like the live music or whatever. Run BTS with a live band, I that mm, that would just be everything. Like in my mind when I started really listening to the song over and over again, I was like, this is a concert song. This is a song where they need just the whole thing, the guitar, the whole. Oh my god,
Ooh, guitar.
do you think that if when they get back together, right? When they come back as one, and if we get a tour in the future, you think Jungkook will be playing the drums for a piece of it?
Maybe
Because we did see those drumsticks.
he's been traveling with them.
So I don't know. Okay, anyways, I'm
He's
gonna
been
calm myself down.
practicing.
See, you never know. He might be the little you know, bro.
Not you making the drum sound effects.
That's what it sounds like to me. He might do that real quick and then join the rest of the group. So I don't know. It's very interesting. And then the last two things I want to say. I was watching this with my mom, and she kept saying how fly J Hope was. She was like, "Oh, he fly. Oh, he fly." And I was like, "Yeah." And the clothes he wears is real expensive. He is not cheap.
Is that her bias now?
Oh, I don't know. I think she just because I he. I mean, J Hope's fly. Let's be honest.
He is.
But yeah, I just thought that was really funny. And the last thing I wanted to say was that I really love their blue outfits. It looked the shades of blue that they chose was really nice and I really liked it. But yep, that's all I had to say about the Proof Live. How about you?
Um, yeah, I don't really have anything more to say. So yeah.
All right, so that's it for the comeback. So now we're going to talk about BTS's Festa. We're going to start with their family portraits. Melissa, what were your thoughts?
So for the first portrait, this one was pretty traditional because they do this every year. They do a set in like a suit and tie type of look. So I don't know, they look good. But I feel like to me, the one who stood out the most was Jimin. I just think something about the hair and like, are you laughing at me? Something about
No,
the
I'm just
hair.
laughing because, like, yeah, I agree.
Okay. And like the shirt kind of untucked, not untucked, sorry, unbuttoned and like sleeves rolled up. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. But they did all look good though. But I don't know, something about Jimin with his hair slicked back. I'm just like, oh, he just looks so different from when his hair is on his forehead. Okay. For number two, um, I really liked the concept that they went with for like their first. They did like their first music video, or like I guess their first. Well, yeah, I guess first music video, first like I don't know song, debut song. Their first concerts, their first major award wins, first Grammy performance, yada yada yada. Um, Yeah, so I really liked that, especially this being their ninth year and like their kind of closeout of chapter one, I guess. That's what they kept saying. I thought it was a really good idea to do this. And then I really liked the for Portrait 3, I thought the duos in general were nice, how it was like in chronological order of their career timeline. And I love how in the end they ended with J Hope, who represented their first Billboard number one with Dynamite, and Jungkook, who represented like their debut performance. That to me it felt like it was the past looking at the present. Well, I guess at Dynamite was a couple of years ago, but I mean, like I guess like their their past looking at their most recent accomplishment in the present. I guess I don't know. I just thought that was like really nice. And yeah, I think overall I enjoyed the family portraits. It was great. What about you?
I feel like I shared basically the same ideas as you. Um, but to add on to what you were saying, for the first one, which was like the suit and tie one, I thought it was very plain, but they looked really good. But then, like, also the more I thought about it, referencing K dramas, like whenever I see families do portraits, like the guys are always in some sort of like suit and tie, anyways.
Mm.
So it just kind of all makes sense. And then for portrait number two, I really agree with you on this. I think this concept was like my favorite because it really showed like that from like the beginning to where they are now. And to me it really felt like they tied in like Proof a little bit, because like Proof is like, I don't know, going through the time anyways.
Mm.
So it kind of, I don't know, connected the two in my head. And then the third ones, I felt the same way. I thought it was really cool that they had it in chronological order. And then I thought it was cool that like whatever, like, each member represented a different first, I guess. And so it was cute that they broke them down into like duo pictures, and how like one would go with another, and then it would be like the past would go with the present and the present would go with the next present, and it was just like it just kept moving forward, and I really liked that. It really was like a timeline. And then I thought it was cute how like the last one literally was like you just saw them all together in like a line, and you're just like, wow. And I thought it was interesting that they had them like going up in like a diagonal instead of like across. So it's just like you just see how they grew and how much they've
Mm.
accomplished each time. So I thought that was really nice. But yep, that's all I have to say about the portraits. Anything else?
Nope.
So now we're gonna move on to the BTS selfie collection 21/22. I guess I'll go first with this. I thought they were all good photos, but I just think it's funny how people keep pointing out that the fact that you can see Namjoon's nipple. When you look at the pictures from like their on performance, I can't remember. I don't know exactly. Well, whatever. If you know, you know. And so people have been putting it out, and they were like, "Oh, the editors messed up. They missed one." And so I thought it was just so funny that like out of all, like they put out a lot of selfies for this, and it's like that one, like who zoomed in, like who was like, "Oh wait, let me wait." And so I just thought that was so funny. And then something that stuck out to me was that like V and none of the pictures was like smiling at all. He had like that very like serious, his face, like the serious like stoic, but like has like I'm yeah, I don't know how to explain the look, but if you know, you know, I guess at this point. But I also thought it was really interesting because usually he smiles in like at least one or two pictures, but I just thought it was weird. But maybe that was his vibe that he was going for over the year or whatever. So, yep. What were your thoughts, Melissa?
Um, I was just gonna add on to like it was funny that you mentioned Namjoon's nipple because when I was scrolling through it, I know which arm picture is when they're on the white outfits, in the all
Hmm.
white outfits, and I was like, is that his nipple? And yeah. Then I saw your note. I was like, oh yeah, I did notice that. So that's funny that we all picked up on that. Out of the 22 whatever pictures, however many pictures, we noticed his nipple. And it wasn't even like really showing.
No.
It's the crazy thing. Oh my god. But anyways, also to add on, so like I also noticed that V wasn't smiling in the pictures. I noticed that in the first few, and I was like, well, maybe he's like really taking his like, because I feel like lately, okay, not even lately, the past like few years, he's taking on this like brooding kind of like I know I'm hot, but I'm not gonna show you that I know that I'm hot kind of
Yes, that's
look.
what I was trying to say.
Okay. I
I
was like,
couldn't get
oh,
it out.
he's taking his position like really
Mm.
seriously. Um, yeah. So maybe it's just like his vibe now. Um, but in general, I just thought it was a really great collection of moments over the past year. You know, nothing, I don't really have too much to say since it's just selfies of them and like all the stuff that they've done. But I will say some memorable ones for me was the Sozo one, where that was the first one because that was the first time that we saw Jungkook sleep and just brought back memories
Mm.
of me screaming, running out of your room when we were watching it for the festa after seeing his arm. I was like, oh, I remember that. Great times, great times. And then the season's greetings. I think I had that one just because we had gotten the season greetings, and I was like, oh, I remember this. I
Mm-hmm.
remember all of these. Like they're like different like characters or that they did for that project. And then the Grammys dinner, like I like vividly could remember like watching their V live after that was a Grammys dinner, right? I know they did a V live after it. I think it was the Grammys, after the Grammys. Was that after the Grammys or after they met Megan? That was not after they met Megan.
No. I have to go back and look, but I feel like that was the Grammys dinner.
Yeah, so the Grammys dinner one, that one was memorable for me because, yeah, like I said, I remember them doing the V live for that. And yeah, other than that, um, it was just it's always fun to see, BTS OT7 photos. Yep, that's all for me.
Okay, so we're just gonna move on to the next thing that went with Festa, which was their practice record from 2013 to 2022. Melissa, what were your thoughts?
I thought that the practice sessions were awesome. I love seeing their growth over the past 9 years, and also brought back memories of just of how great the songs in choreo are or were. I guess are for the because yeah, I would say are because I don't know. I was listening to something like, oh, I remember when I first saw this. I remember how sharp they used to be with their choreo when this song first came out. Not that they're not still sharp when they do the choreo, but I just feel like lately, like in like their past, in like the concerts that they did recently, they kind of use a lot of these songs as part of medleys, so they're not
Mm-hmm.
doing the choreo full out, or they just do like more like a kind of a lax kind of choreo for it, not doing it completely full out. Whereas like, when songs first drop, they're like super sharp and like gotta show everyone everything that I got because the song's brand new. And so that was cool. And it just reminded me of how much I love the songs. Okay, like in particular, like today, I was just listening to what was it, Best of Me? And I was like, wow, I love this song. And like they were all, and I also love like in like with their hair and their outfits, like you reminded of like, okay, this was this era, this is that year. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a lot of fun. Yep. What about you?
I agree. I don't know. I agree with everything you said. I'll say, just to add, I think it also showed just how over the years their choreo just became like a little more complicated. Like I do still feel like a lot of some of their, I guess, older dances were complicated, but now they just seem a little, I don't know if it's complicated or just more intense. Or
Hmm.
like, cause some of them, it's like the little teeny tiny moves that really make the choreography. But like, I don't know if it's just because like I did dance when I was younger. Sometimes those little quick little teeny moves are sometimes the hardest ones to nail and nail perfectly. So it's just interesting how just over the years it just became harder and harder and more like intricate as time went on. And I like how you kind of start to see each member's like, I would say, dance style throughout the years, and it looked like they became more confident in performing and finding like, okay, I may not be able to dance like this member, but like I have my own style and that's fine. And so I don't know, I guess that's something I've always liked about BTS is that they weren't afraid to show their individuality while still being part of the big group. So yeah, that's something I really noticed over watching the practice record, because I don't think I've ever sat there and watched all of them like throughout the years, just like back to back to back. I think I was just like all over the place with watching some of them. So those were my thoughts on the practice record. Anything else?
No, I agree. Their technique has definitely developed over time. Whereas, like, I feel like when they first came out, they was like all about the sharpness and
Mm-hmm.
being cohesive. And as I got older, I guess they were still about like at least the cohesiveness part. But like you said, they started adding in more like small details that really kind of elevated the dances, the
Mm-hmm.
songs, and like you said, I just agree with everything you said.
Okay, and so the next thing we're gonna talk about is the song for our army. It was called "My You" by Jungkook. I loved it, and I loved how he used like social media to put out the song, because I feel like well, I mean, like throughout the video was like
uh,
social media. Um because I feel like over the past two going on, no, just 2 years during the pandemic, like that's really the only way we were able to communicate with each other.
mm,
And so I really like that that's how he was also communicating. And he's just like really good at social media, you know? Gen Z all the way. This is very Gen Z of him, honestly. But I love it. And yeah, I don't know, just using, because like he went from, I think he used like, think he did like Instagram, and then I think part of it was also like I mean, granted they fixed it to like work for him. Like, you know, the graphics were different, but like you could tell what platforms they were supposed to represent. And so I think like V Live was part of it. But then like also I think part of it was like a music player, and it had the lyrics that's also what I really liked. I like how the lyrics were popping up. Oh, and then the text message. Oh, and then the text message that he put out before it dropped, it was just like a little bunny. It was like hi, and everyone was like hi, hi. And then it came out, and we were like, oh hi. And then it was just so cute, and the song was super beautiful, and I loved it. He can't do no wrong, really. So, what were your thoughts, Melissa?
okay. Yeah, I thought it was really cute also how he just not texted, tweeted, I guess, hi, or put out like a hi thing, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was like, "Oh, something." So I feel like everyone kind of knew that he was going to drop something for the festa, because it was, but I don't know, no one knew like what it was. Anyways, I thought that was a cute way to drop a hint before the song also. But in general, I thought it was a really pretty song, and I agree with you about like his usage of social media and as a way to like with the lyrics and connecting like to army, I guess. um I thought it was cool that we already sort of had like, I don't know, he had already given us sort of like a hint to the song without us even knowing that it was the song when he had played it in a past V live. At least instrumental part. He had played in the past V live, and he had incorporated lyrics from Army in as part of like a live song thing that he did. And I think, and in his most recent V Live, he had said that he was hoping to incorporate some of those lyrics that Army came up with in the official song, but he said it has something to do with like legal stuff or whatever,
Oh.
that they couldn't do that. But that was cool because everyone's like, oh, I remember that melody. And it was from the V Live song. Yeah, and I just most of what I got from this song is that he just loves Army.
Yeah.
That's basically what I got. It's a gorgeous song, and I really like it, and it's really pretty, and yeah, I love Jungkook.
Okay. I like how out of everything, that's what it boils down to. You were like, I love Jungkook. I was like, he could do no wrong. So clearly.
Key takeaway. Yep, yep, out of the song.
Oh god. Okay. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the BTS dinner. Okay. So I'm gonna go first. So I just have like just some thoughts that I have about this is that I always love to see them in a setting where they're just like chilling and like just being with each other. Because I always love like in those settings, they're always able just to kind of just like mess around with each other and just joke around and always make fun of each other, bring up past memories. Like I really love that. And so yeah, that's one thing that I really loved about the dinner. I thought it was interesting that Namjoon brought up the fact that his friends were asking why they were doing an anthology album now. Like, why not 10? And it made me immediately think of you, Melissa, because I think you had said that at one point. I don't know if it was on the podcast, but I think we might have been like talking. And you were like, why now? Why didn't they just wait to 10? Because that's like a perfect number. And so I just thought it was funny that everybody else was also wondering that. And when they were talking about how like them living together, it really made me realize how long they've actually been together as a group, even prior to their debut. Because, like, they had to work together before they could debut. And so you could just see, just like, really, they've been together for a long time. And to be like
Yeah.
with the same, I guess, like, if I'm acting like I'm a member, it's like to be with the same 6 people the entire time for all those years, to also live in the same place. Like, it's hard enough, like if you in college, it's hard enough living with like one roommate or 2 roommates or 3 roommates, but like 6, I don't know how they did it. And it's just like so crazy just to see how far they've come. And then I think one question I want to ask real quick is like, Sugar was talking, and so I was wondering, were they planning on? Oh, well, okay. Next time we'll be talking about the break, but were they planning on going on a break until COVID was over? So we would have never gotten Dynamite or Butter, because he had talked about like they were planning on going on break after. Were they planning on going on a break after On?
I
I
think
was a
it
little
was
confused.
I think it was after On. I think they were planning on releasing Map of the Soul 7
Hmm.
and then going on tour and then going on break.
Oh, okay. So we were never gonna get Butter or Dynamite had
I don't
things
think
gone the way
so.
they planned.
Yeah, because the way that they talked about it was like, yeah, and Dynamite came up, and then Butter, and then Permission to Dance. Like, the opportunities came up. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's made it seem like they weren't gonna, like, it seemed to me like they were gonna go on a break after the tour.
Okay. I was a little confused. That's why I should ask. I thought I should ask that question because I was confuzzled. But speaking of a break, I just wanted to say, although it's sad that they're going on break from like the viewpoint of like we won't be able to see them quote unquote together for a while, I'm really happy that they are able to take this break and do like their individual thing, because I think I was talking I think this was offline when I was talking to you. But even before the dinner, I was talking about how they just kind of looked tired and they just looked like they were burnt out. And I especially noticed that when they were at the White House, they just looked tired to me. Well, I don't know. They just look. I mean, I guess maybe they were trying to look professional, but I don't know. I just got the vibes that they were tired and they needed a break.
Mm.
So I'm just really happy that they were able to take the break that they needed to, or are going to take the break, because I guess technically it starts now. Whatever, you guys know what I'm trying to say. um but in terms of the break, I thought it was really sad that they thought or feared that like we as an army would be disappointed or not understand why they needed the break. And they just kept asking, like they kept saying, I hope you understand. And they were talking about how like bad they felt that they wanted to take this break. But we understand. Like I don't know, it just made me feel bad that they felt like we were going to be like very disappointed in them for not for taking time to be individuals. And it just really made me sad because I was like, that's not true. We want you guys to be happy just like you guys make us happy. We want you to be happy. And so that also, and it's just like a lot of things I didn't realize that they really felt until this dinner. And it's crazy that they assume that army has like higher expectations of them than we actually do. Or okay, let me I guess I can talk for myself. I don't know about everybody else. But just like I feel like the only thing we really expect from them is that like we really hope that they're just like happy and they just continue to make music. And truly for me, and this is only speaking for me, I could care less if they did like award shows or like went to like yeah just I don't know just like all the extra stuff that they've been doing, like as long as they just did what makes them happy and put out the music, I'd be happy. And I don't know if that's like a high expectation but I just really I don't know, I don't expect too much. I don't know, it just seems like they think we have higher expectations than we actually do. And yeah, and I think they do deserve this break because they have been going on for so long. They've been going for 9 years now since their debut. And then also before that, they've been working hard to like, they definitely been going on longer than that. And so I really think that they deserve this. And it also made me realize how like us as fans, like I feel like some of us really have like the luxury, like when we need a break, we can take a break. And I feel like they don't have that ability whenever they want to because they always have like a long schedule, like they have schedules and they have to do things, they have to go from this place to another place, do this and do that. And it really made me realize just how much of a luxury taking a break is and what we have. And so I'm happy they get to do that. And yeah, I don't know, and just it seems like a weight has been lifted off their shoulders by being able to communicate this to us and also by being able to take the time to figure out who they are again as individuals. Because I feel like I think it was Namjoon that said that he's trying to find who he is again or find who he is within the group again. I don't know, I can't exactly put into the words that he did. But it just seems like they all lost themselves in being BTS because maybe they've just been doing stuff for so long as a group. They haven't had time to really focus on doing their individual thing. And I feel like that's something that I've always loved about BTS is that they were able to do individual stuff and they were still able to be themselves as individuals but also be part of the group. And so it's good that they're going back to finding that again. And I guess some final thoughts that aren't completely about the break is that one, it felt like the PTD tours were kind of like a little like gift to see them again live before they did leave us. And so I'm really happy that Melissa and I decided to go because there was a little small moment we were like, oh man, should we go? Because everything was starting to add up because hotels were expensive, flights were expensive. We were like, ooh, did we make the right decision? But I'm so happy we went because like that's like the last time we get to see them until they come back again. So I was like, oh, I'm really happy they went on tour and they pushed through it. I'm really happy for that part. And I think the another thing I want to say is I will fully admit I was wrong because I've been sitting here thinking they were going on tour again and so it's no new tour, but that's fine. But the final thing I will say is that I'm really excited for what's coming in the future for the solos while they're doing their individual thing. And I'm really excited to see what chapter 2 of BTS is going to be. And what that means for them and their music, and what it means for us as army. Like, are we going to mature over this time and do our like little individual thing and pine it, and then we'll all come back as one again, and then also just be like bomb or whatever. So I'm just really excited to see what's next. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Melissa, what are your thoughts?
Um, wow. I don't know, I kind of want to work backwards. I don't
Okay.
know, because I had thoughts about like the actual dinner, like the contents and stuff, but I kind of want to talk about the break. Yeah, I want to talk about the break first. But I agree with you about like um looking forward to chapter 2 for them, and they had mentioned that they're all going to be doing official solo albums.
Hmm.
So I'm super excited for that. Um and like Arm said that like they put out their own solo work, I guess has been considered mixtapes, but it didn't have like official releases. Like they didn't have like a full, like it was more like they just dropped the music and we just all, I don't know, listen to it. But so now they'll have like a full like schedule for their albums and like teasers, I'm
Hmm.
hoping, and I don't know, and like I hope we like merch. I don't know. I'm excited and I am ready to drop money on like every single solo album.
Hmm.
And if they go on tours, I'll be there. That's the plan at least. So although I'm sad that there's not gonna be like OT7 album for a while, or that we won't see them on tour, like you said, you know, we were kind of hoping for a tour, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm excited for their solo work, and I'm also really excited for the solo work because, like you had said, you know, this is their opportunity to for them to like find themselves again, and I feel like it's opportunity for them to find their why. I guess I didn't know how else best to like put it, like when I was writing my notes, but I feel like you said, like, and I think it's part of the expectations that why they felt as though we have higher expectations of them than we actually do. Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for everyone. I guess I'll also speak for myself, but I feel like I had share the same sentiments as you. But
Okay.
like, I feel like that's because of the industry that they're in.
Mm.
K-pop fans in general, I feel like have this expectation that they want their faves to put out 2 3 albums. Okay, maybe not 3 albums. It's probably pushing it, but they want them to have like 2 or 3 comebacks in a year, and it's
Mm.
like it takes a toll on. I'm sure it takes a toll on the idols mentally and physically to have to constantly produce content. And I say that because I thought it was really interesting and kind of sad when Suga had said that, you know, since 2013, which is when they debuted, there wasn't really a time where he hadn't felt the pressure to put out music and to write something that, um, I guess, to sell, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, and that was kind of sad because it's like music
Yeah.
shouldn't feel that way. It shouldn't feel like a burden. And he was saying that, you know, he has like squeeze out every ounce of him and every time. I'm just like, I can't even imagine what that's like. And they put out so many albums and music, and he's one of the, you know, main songwriters and producers for them. Like, I can't even imagine what that must feel like. And so I'm really happy for him. That, I think that's the part that I start getting emotional about. Like, I just feel, I'm just so happy for them that they're able to have this luxury finally
Hmm.
to step back and really figure out who they are as individuals, like you had said. And I think that's basically what Aram was saying, that like he lost direction of, he lost, like, I guess what the group's direction was going to be after they put out On. And that's when he started breaking down and I started getting emotional. Again, I didn't cry. I don't know. I guess I'm really a crier. But um I really felt for them because it's just like, wow. And you know, maybe this is a hot take, but we have been saying when he started talking about the group like losing direction after On, I remember us clearly saying like this doesn't really feel like BTS, like the BTS that we know. Sorry, I'm
Hmm.
losing my breath. But it's because even when those songs came out, like Dynamite, Permission to Dance, and Butter, like those all felt like business decisions. Because we were sitting here saying like this doesn't really feel like a song, like songs that BTS would willingly want to put out because they genuinely love the music. And
Hmm.
other fans also who said that we're getting eaten alive on social media. And I think that's very unfair because I feel like as BTS fans, I mean, of course, we don't know what direction they're going to go in musically because we're not them. But I do feel like after like 7 years of them putting out music that kind of has similar vibes, um, I feel like as fans, we kind of have the inkling of what a BTS song usually is. And so I just thought that was interesting. And I'm really glad that RM like was able to voice like his thoughts about their music lately and their writing and like I don't know, just that part of it. I was like, oh, okay, so we weren't crazy. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally what I said. Okay, I was like, so we weren't crazy. All right, moving on. But and I guess it's also why again, okay, I keep going back to the solos because I feel like this is their time to like really show what they wanted to show, and this isn't something that is completely like a hype thing. Like like I feel like those three songs were to gain access more, I guess, more access or more. I don't know what's the word, they just wanted to break into the Western market charts, I feel like, and like get like Western awards. Cause I don't
Mm-hmm.
even because I was thinking about this. Like I feel like they had already broken into the Western market just by putting out the music that they put out before anyways. But I feel like they wanted to break into like Billboard charts and they wanted to, win Grammy Awards and things like that. And I think that was the whole purpose of those songs. But I talked a lot about that. But that's all I was gonna say about that. Um, and yeah. Oh, I don't think I finished what I was saying about the expectations part. Okay, sorry, because you were talking about the expectations, so higher and high expectations. But yeah, I think basically what I was thinking is that I think that just comes with the industry that they're in. I think I didn't close out that thought, but I think it just goes with the industry that they're in and K-pop fans in general wanting to have their faves put out constant, produce music constantly or put out things constantly. And I guess they may have been afraid that since they won't be putting out music as a group, that maybe fans would feel disappointed. But I mean, to me, as long as they're still I mean, for me personally, my expectations are just that they put out music that they think is good, and that's about it.
I agree.
I mean, especially I don't know, and I guess because as long as they don't like disappear, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like as long as they're still like putting out music, I mean, I don't really it doesn't really matter to me if it's like as a group or solo. I just love listening to their music, period. Which is why people go crazy with like the mixtapes and stuff. Like they just love to hear them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was interesting that they felt so strongly about like trying to console Army, but we're like, you're not disbanding. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so this is a side note, but I'm a big Beyonce fan, and Beyonce hasn't put out an album in like 6 years. And but I mean, I'm still her fan. Like I know she's gonna make music again, and she's coming out with a new album next month, actually in July. And so I mean, it's not like her fans didn't disappear on her. I mean, we just want our faves to be happy, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
and just put out music that they also want to put out. That's all. At least that's my expectation. Um, that they enjoy their jobs. I don't know. I was really sad when Suga said all that about about not really being happy since 2013. I was like, dang, you should have been had a break then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in general, I guess about the dinner because I talked a lot about like the break, but I also just in general, I really like that they returned to that dinner format. That was similar to 2018 because that was my favorite one. Maybe because there was alcohol involved, but whenever there's
Mm-hmm.
alcohol involved, things just get real, and things got real in this one, and I guess they needed it too for the content that they were going to be talking about, but it always just feels very like kind of cozy or just like you're just watching a group of friends like hang out. Well, they're closer than friends, I feel like, but um I thought that was I just like the format. And I knew something was up when they started talking about the reason that they were in their old house or their current house is because the contract was ending. Like, so they kind of already gave a hint that something was ending. Um, but yeah, and um, and they said that was why they had the dinner there because the contract was ending, and 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 I could tell that they were trying to figure out how to bring up the break because they were talking about the rooms and stuff and how and I mean sorry in each other's houses, and then all of a sudden Sugar was like, so yeah, we're going on a temporary break or hiatus or whatever you want to call it. And it was so funny watching people like react to it, and they're like, wait, what did he say? And I did the same thing. I was like, wait, what did he say? Like, oh, you're going on a break. Oh, okay. And then they started going into the reasons for that. But it was just you could it's like the first half was like pretty lighthearted and like going through, their houses and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the break. I don't think they mentioned this, but it was also funny how they were talking about Jungkook's house and how he had like 20 mattresses and
Yeah.
like 20 diffusers. And then the next day, okay, we didn't really go into this about like the word of like hiatus and temporary break, but it basically Jungkook went on live the next day and he was just like, yeah, we're not going on hiatus, but anyways, I want to let y'all know that the first were exaggerating. I don't have I don't have 20 mattresses and I don't have all those diffusers. They're just on the floor because there's no room. But he didn't say anything about the laundry room being the dining room being the laundry room. So that's still up in the air as to whether or not that's like a real thing. But it was just so funny how he was like, yeah, we're not disbanding, but the important thing is I need to clear my name, and that
Mm-hmm.
was hilarious. Um, Also, okay, last thing I was gonna say, um, I think it was they it really showed that they cared about their fans, that they did go on social media after this dinner to kind of clarify things or to make sure that Army was okay, that because I guess other media were twisting their words. I mean, those who watched the dinner knew like what was going on, but those who didn't were really taking the whole temporary break hiatus word and just like running away with it to make it seem something that it wasn't. But RM went on social media and he went on Weverse and like made like this whole super long post
Mm-hmm.
about, what was going on. And then I think V had also posted something on Weverse clarifying things. And then Jungkook, of course, went live. And V, wait, no, he didn't go live. No, he went live before the Proof live thing, I think. But, anyways, it was kind of nice that it's obvious that they care a lot about their fans, that they went to those lengths to say things or to clarify things after the fact because some people were going through it. People were going through it. And honestly, I mean, I know other K-pop groups, I mean, every K-pop group is going to go through this,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some newer people who are newer to K-pop, and BTS may be the only group that they stand. And for this, and they may have just recently gotten into them,
Mm-hmm.
and so I mean, for them, this is like kind of heartbreaking because it's like you're just, getting into a group that you really enjoy, and now they're like taking a break. Like, I don't know, they probably didn't really fully understand what that meant. And, anyways, I just thought it was nice that they care about their fans and did all that extra stuff afterwards. That's all I was gonna say though. But yeah, I pretty much just agree with everything you said prior. Also,
Can I just say something about like the fans being sad about the break?
yeah,
I just feel like it was just the use of the word hiatus, really, because I feel like if they were like, "Oh, we're going to take a temporary break," everybody would be like, "Oh, okay," but like I feel like hiatus is like a taboo word in K-pop because normally when I mean, even when we were going back through like when we were talking about like the first and second generations, whenever they said they were going on hiatus, it went from hiatus to like an indefinite hiatus. And so like I don't know, I just feel like that's just like a word you don't use. But like I mean, a hiatus and a break are basically the same thing. But But I don't know. I think just people just automatically associate the hiatus to a temporary break. And then also, I agree with you about what you were saying about the newer fans, about how like they just probably didn't understand exactly what them going on a break really entailed. But I feel like I don't know. I think when I heard it, I was like cooling because I feel like BTS would never be like, "Oh, we're going on hiatus," and then just never come back. Like
Exactly.
I just know they would never do that to us. They at least would give us something or like really have like a conversation like, "Hey, we can't do this anymore. We can't carry on. Like we're done." Like they would have that conversation with us. It would never be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're done." Like it would never be like that. And so when they said it, I was like, okay, I'm really happy for you guys.
Same.
Good. We'll see you when we see you, you know?
And also, I love that they chose to make this announcement in this sort of format too, because I feel like other
Mm-hmm.
companies or other groups would have done it through like a social media post or something, like an announcement or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what makes BTS's relationship like different, like with their fans, I guess. Or they have a different relationship with their fans because they instead of doing like some sort of formal announcement, they had a conversation with Army about like what's going on and why they're doing what they're doing, and it gives the fans an opportunity to like hear it like straight from them what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and not just like, because there would have been a ton of questions. I feel like
Yeah.
if they had, there were still questions. They had a conversation and there were still questions. So you know, there still would have been a ton of questions if they had just put like a formal announcement. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but this announcement made the world news in the U.S. So it's kind of a big deal, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so I was just agreeing with you, I guess, about like if they were like truly like just going away and never coming back,
Mm-hmm.
they would have definitely put on V Live or something and sat down with us and had a conversation. They wouldn't just up and disappear.
Yeah.
Anything else that you have wanted to say about the dinner or the temporary break?
No, just that I am really excited for these solos. That's something else I wanted to say. Was that because you had said something I wanted to piggyback off it. The last thing I was saying, I'm really excited for these shows because you're talking about how they had mentioned that it's like it's gonna be like albums, like legit albums, and so like I'm really excited because like you mentioned, if they come out with like teasers and photo cards, like I'm for it. I'm so for it. I'm so excited, and I think it's something that RM had mentioned is like he was talking about how like the difference between like mixtape and albums, and like mixtapes are stuff like you send in to like companies saying like, oh hey, look, I can do this. And so how they're a little more established now, and so it's just like I can't wait for these things because like and like hold on, if there's any indicator about Jimin solo with this daggone Weverse picture that he put out for the Weverse magazine, if that's the Jimin that we're going to get, I'm ready. I'm for it. But that's all I had to say.
I'm getting excited. Because even in his interview, I skimmed through some of the interview. It was really hard to pay attention to the interview, but he had mentioned something about how he wanted to show. I don't know if the like there's a difference between explicit in English versus like Korean. Like maybe the
Okay.
translation is different. But he was saying like he wanted to be more explicit or show more of himself. So thinking about it that way,
Mhm.
so like just now, but like so yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Um, and so we know Hobie's, I think, is gonna be the first one. I
Hmm.
wonder if he's gonna release it before the Hobie Palooza, end of
When is Hope
July.
People Lose again?
I think it's like July  31st. I think.
Oh,
I know it's end of July.
okay. I heard people saying there's a rumor that he will put it out
Okay,
before. I mean, that would make sense. I
it
mean,
would.
or what if it drops like that day or like that morning? Like,
I think it would have to be before if he plans on performing the songs there.
but you know how we roll though. we'll know those songs in 2 hours if we had to.
I guess.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I hope
So
so.
I don't know who's after him.
I know they said that were they making fun of V about how his won't come out until after Jimin's, even though he's been working on it for years now.
We've been saying he's been talking about this daggone mixtape or whatever for
Mm-hmm.
years. So yeah. So but and I don't know who's after Hobie, but I know Jungkook has said that his is gonna be planned to be after Yoongi's. So there's that.
It's funny that like even though they're doing solo things, it still feels like they're doing a group thing by putting out solos because like they have a whole schedule. Like, oh, yours gonna come out, then mine, then yours. I'm so excited.
Well, I guess with groups you have to have some sort of schedule. I mean, yeah, I see what you mean though. Because it's
Yeah.
like it's still like an order, and they're still sort of doing things as a group, even though it's like
Mm-hmm.
individual because of the schedules. But it makes sense to me because like normally, right? Like teams have to like focus
Yeah.
on certain like it doesn't wouldn't make sense for them to both like for two members to have something out at the same time because
Mm-hmm.
all of the focus should go to that one member and their release and promotion schedule and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So um I mean that makes sense to me. So I was thinking like maybe Hobie would put his out and then like maybe a couple months later, I don't know how much time they need for Hobie to like do his like promotions and
Yeah.
stuff before the next member can start his like teasers and promotions and stuff. So I don't know.
Are we going to get individual concerts?
I don't know. I That would be nice.
Do you think Hobie's like the tester? Like,
Maybe.
you know how he's like doing his own set.
Hmm.
Like, I wonder if they're like, huh? I wonder if people. I wonder if this is a thing. Oh, 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 okay. Hold on. I need to calm down because I was thinking like, are we gonna get like individual stuff if they come back together as like a like you know what I mean? Because like, you know how
Yeah.
I feel like you and I are always like, oh dang, I wish he would have performed this from his mixtape at the concert. But
Yeah.
we understand it's like a BTS concert. Like, I wonder if they're gonna do like normally they'll do like individual songs, and within individual songs will be their solo work. Okay, yeah, okay, that's all I have to say. Those are my last additional thoughts. That's it.
Okay. Okay. I guess me too. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is gonna be. But I'm just excited for them. And oh, okay. No. I'm done. All right. So, I guess that's it for this episode. Please let us know what you thought about BTS's Proof and your thoughts about their temporary break. You can do so on Instagram and Twitter at @the_AM podcast. Links are in the description. If you like this episode, please subscribe and rate us. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you stay safe, and we will talk to you next episode.